haven't done one of these in a while, so here's my top 10 favorite characters of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. At number 10, we have the second attempt of Aunt Vivian. Now, it's not the actress's fault or anything, but replacing the role of any character is gonna have some negative feedback. And with different actresses, you can't actually do the same thing the first actress did, so she turned into this different dynamic of a character into kind of somebody that didn't have that many lines, and basically became this kind of washed down housewife. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've had a similar experience when they changed the character in the show. At number 9, we have Hillary Banks. I don't have a problem with Hillary, it's just the fact that her own personality being ditzy was what was going for her. Well, that and being very dependent on her father for money. But even after all that, she probably has top 3 of the character development of that show. At number 8, we have Ashley Banks. Now in the show, Ashley was always targeted around the kids' age where they were trying to grow up and in between the preteens and the teen stage, and for the parents to come to term that she's not little anymore and she's growing up. I want to say as a kid when I was watching the show, she probably would have been top 4 or something like that, but as I grow older, I realized that there's other characters that I actually absolutely love now. At number 7, we have Nikki Banks. A late addition to the show, but he wasn't a bad one. There's always this trope of one of the characters in the cast that had to be innocent, and since Ashley wasn't the innocent anymore, they had to figure someone else probably. I.e. Nikki, so when he had a smart crack to say in the show, it was always surprising, and it was pretty funny. At number 6, we have the original Aunt Vivian. The first Aunt Vivian was a strong, independent, powerful black woman, educated, helped Uncle Phil keep the kids straight, and did not take any nonsense from nobody. She was all around a dynamic character, and I still won't forgive the fact that she had to be replaced. At number 5, we have Jazz. You knew you were in for a good episode if you knew Jazz was there. He is the homie of homies and the best punching bag for slapstick. I know he always mean well, and he will always mess up something because he was trying to do his best even though he didn't understand what was going on, but he still tried his best. And there was times where he did get Will in trouble. Like the time he borrowed Will's car for the summer and got those $2,000 worth of parking tickets and got him sent to jail. But all in all, Jazz is a good example of having somebody in your life that matches your energy. At number 4, we have Will Smith himself. Being the main character has his perks. His jokes, clapbacks, one-liners, and his insane energy with the family will never not be top-notch. If you want to talk about character growth, that's the character right there that about ties with or even beats Zuko from Avatar. And they knew what they were doing too. Having this goofy character inside and out, and all of a sudden things get serious and he gets emotional. If there was an episode that Will was breaking down crying, everyone in the room was probably crying too. At number 3, we have Uncle Phil. Rest in peace. When it comes to father figures of the 90s, he's probably top 2 in my opinion. On paper, it seemed like that he did not like Will, but in reality, he didn't like his carefree attitude and didn't take anything seriously about his future, and that's why he was on him so much. At the same pace as Will's character development was going through the show, so was Uncle Phil's at the same rate. And one of the key factors in this show that I absolutely love is the fact that Uncle Phil became the father figure that Will needed. And that situation can actually relate into reality too, because people can come into your life that can act like more of a father than your actual father can be. And watching his last line in the last episode hurts even more now. Remember they all agreed to call each other on Sunday?
Sunday. Sundays.
Now we're at the top 2, and this was very hard to try to pick. At number 2, we will go with Carlton Banks on this one. I absolutely love Carlton, and there wasn't any time on screen that he said something that I did not laugh. And the same thing with his character development with accepting Will as being a part of the family and having a brother he never had. You can just see it. How many of you guys noticed that at the beginning of the show, Will and Ashley always had this connection to each other, but as the show progressed, it was Will and Carlton that had that connection together because their energy was so on point. The thing I said about Will's emotional episodes can be said the same thing for Carlton's emotional episodes. When he was hurt and he was upset, you can feel it too, and it's hard to see that from a character that's supposed to be goofy. Like that episode when he refused to go to the hospital when Uncle Phil had that heart attack. But what about the episode where Carlton and Will got robbed at the ATM machine? How many of y'all can feel me on this one? What about the episode where Carlton didn't get accepted into that black fraternity because he didn't act black? Carlton and Will always be the dynamic duo of that show. Carlton will always be a goated character in my eyes, even though he is mean to death. At number 1, we have Jeffrey Butler. I just couldn't not give this to Jeffrey. I mean, come on now. His wit and his one-liner comebacks were always golden. After all these years, I still love Jeffrey. He is still going to be number 1 in my eyes. And I know there wasn't too many Jeffrey-focused episodes, but when there were, they were actually really good. And the last episode, it really hit hard for me.
Goodbye, Master William. Hey, what's that, G? Goodbye, Will. Bye-bye, G.
And that will be my top 10 characters of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Is the show perfect? Probably not to you, but for me, it's a 10 out of 10 comfort show. You can argue it's nostalgia if you want to, but there are situations in that show that are still relevant today. I have no prominent reason why I did this, it's just one of my favorite shows and I thought a top 10 would be kind of fun. Let me know if you agree, disagree, or if I should do a different show, and let me know in the comments.